What is happening, fellow pioneers of human transportation? I'm Yogi Steve, and you're watching ESA, the Electric Scooter Academy, videos about high-powered scooters. Thanks for joining me again. I'm out here on my Dualtron Ultra 2. I actually just put a new tire on it, and I want to road test it around the neighborhood before I bring it out on a delivery shift. You know, my biggest worry on a delivery shift is, of course, like breaking down somewhere. And, oh, shit. So I like to push the scooter really hard locally, and for good or for bad, my neighborhood has all these shitty roads like right around me. I can just go over all these bumps, we can take it up a hill, but we won't be far from home. So if we do get a flat, if there is something wrong with the tire, it'll be a short walk home. So we're just gonna kind of do laps around the neighborhood. I'll tell you about the Dualtron, I'll tell you about this particular scooter, the Dualtron Ultra 2. Right now it's actually pretty incredible. You can buy this unit for $2,500 with my discount, ESA Dualtron at Voro Motors. It's sort of a secret that I'm letting out, but Voro is discontinuing their sales of Dualtrons, and they only have a small amount of inventory left, which is already super reduced, but you can still use my code ESA Dualtron for another $300 off. So I think this scooter lists at $2,700 or $2,800, so you can get it for about $2,500. It's incredible. This scooter was $4,200 retail when I bought it. Really amazing time to buy a 72-volt scooter at a super low price. And once those are gone, they're going to be gone forever. They're going to be gone forever. Voro is discontinuing their relationship with Dualtron. They're focusing on their Cabos, on their EMOVE Roadster, and on the InMotion RS, which I should have coming pretty soon. If you've been following the channel, you know I love the Dualtron Ultra line. I never bought a Dualtron Thunder. Basically very, very similar, almost the equivalent to this, with a couple of extra perks. But I really like the Ultra line better. It's a little more minimalist. I don't really need like big LED lights on my scooters. The first Ultra was different from the Thunder. It didn't, it had mechanical brakes, which was insane. But ever since this unit, the Ultra 2, the Ultra line has hydraulic brakes. So nut hydraulic brakes, 11-inch tires, 72-volt scooter. It's got sort of arm-ripping acceleration. You might not even like that so much. If you've driven both, let's say, Cabo and Dualtron, you really see the difference between a sine wave and a square controller. They're both incredibly fast scooters, but depending on how you have the settings set, really the Dualtron is going to be more inclined to give you that feeling of your arms are going to get ripped out of your socket upon acceleration. For those of you who don't know, the difference between a sine wave and a square wave controller. Square wave controller, when you trigger it even a little bit, it gives 100% energy to the motor. Sine wave controller, when you trigger it, depending on the amount you trigger it, is the amount of juice you're going to get. So you can lightly trigger a sine wave controller and get a small amount of juice and then slowly finish pulling on the throttle and get more juice. So you understand, like this is a sine wave controller. Watch, if I just trigger it a tiny, tiny bit right here, it's ripping at 100%. And if I finger it up, if I hit it 100%, it's the same feeling. You understand? That's the difference between a sine wave and a square wave controller. And I have it on authority. The reason why Dualtron doesn't use sine wave controllers is mainly because of durability. The square wave controllers are a little more proven than the sine wave controllers. In my opinion, there have not been a lot of controller problems with Cabos in recent years, but some will tell you that the sine wave controllers are less inclined to break down. I'm going to take us back up this hill, back into the neighborhood. Before I get onto Sunset, I really want to do a little more driving on this thing. I really want to pound on the tires. I just pulled over and hand checked the rear tires. They seem like they're fine. It's very hard to tell in these 11-inch and bigger tires. They're so thick. Just checking them by hand doesn't really tell you that much, unless it's like totally flat. I'll tell you though, since I've been driving mostly Cabo recently, I do favor the sine wave controller, no doubt about it. It's taken me a second here to kind of get used to the controller on the Ultra 2. By the way, this unit has about 1,700 miles on it. It hasn't had a single problem. It's really a tremendous fucking scooter. I can't believe you can buy this for $2,500. That's like the insider price. But once these are gone, they're gone. And an advantage of these is you can always get parts. You can find most parts on AliExpress, but also the Europeans, the Russians, and the French, they have made some incredible modifications on the Dualtron line with upgraded metal components that are not super expensive. You got Ken Sonkin, you got specifically these Russian guys. Maybe I can show you some pictures here. I never use any of these parts, but if this scooter has any limitation, it's going to be the hinge, which they've upgraded on the new Dualtron Thunder 3, which I can't wait to freaking see. But the hinge on this, the gear nut, it's got a little bit of a problem. I mean, the main problem is that it makes noise. Even if it's perfectly adjusted, if you don't really clean it regularly, a couple hundred miles, that thing starts squeaking. It's ridiculous. Also, this first generation, which is on every model except for the Thunder 2 and up, the X, and now the new Thunder 3, they all have a new model hinge, which I haven't even seen really in person yet. But it's worth it to upgrade your parts to these like European, these Russian components. They're gonna last longer. They actually call it like the forever hinge, because on this model here, you really, if you know what you're doing, you replace your bearings, you replace your hinge semi-regularly as it wears. Right now, this scooter is feeling pretty good. It's fun to be back on the Dualtron. I've only got 35,000 miles on these scooters. All right, I think we can take it down the Sunset Boulevard from here. All right, we have a lot of traffic behind us. Let's see if we can open this bitch up on Sunset. One of the big differences between the Dualtron and Cabo line, shit, we got the light, is the Dualtron has 3 modes, Cabo has 5. Mode 2 is all I really use on my Dualtrons. It's incredibly fast. So I'm putting it in mode 3 now. I think the scooter generally goes like 55 or even faster. I just generally don't drive that fast. Plus I'm on off-road tires, which are probably not as good at high speed, but I just prefer them. They seem to be more durable for me. I don't know, most people won't really agree. All right, here's a big opening, let's go. Come on, get out of my way. I don't know how fast that was, but that's about as fast as I want to go, to be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you though, you know, I love the Dualtron line, but I think at higher speeds I do prefer the Cabo. I like having the dual stem in front of me. It's not that the stem's ever gonna break, but I've gotten used to this feeling of having all this metal in front of me as I'm riding. Yeah, I've really gotten used to the wider handlebars, plus I like being a little further away from the stem. Like the way you're set up here on this, which is probably the way to drive it for most people, is my waist is what, a foot away from the stem. Even if I stand at the back like this, my arms are still slightly bent, like I'm pretty close to the stem. I've almost gotten used to being further away, because on the GTR especially, which I've been on for the past couple of months, it's got a bigger deck than this even. Like this scooter was known for its deck. It's big, it's wide actually, but the GTR is longer, or as long, I'm not sure, but it's pretty long and it's almost as wide. It's not as wide. This scooter's got a super wide deck. That's one thing. If you like this certain types of feet position, the wide deck is great. I mean, that's really why I was attracted to it for deliveries. Okay, man, the Dualtron Ultra 2, again, it's a really sick deal to buy this at 2,500 bucks. The retail of this scooter when I bought it was, I think, 4,200. ESA Dualtron gets you $300 off. Once Voro's out of these, they're gone. Now I'm gonna go upstairs and grab the Roadrunner. Now we're out here on the Roadrunner Pro. Crazy enough, this scooter is also about 2,500 bucks. I think it's 2,600. You can use my bonus code ELECTRICSCOOTERACADEMY to get $50 off. It's an incredible fucking scooter. If you need a scooter with a seat, this is the only way to go. Don't attach a seat to a stand-up scooter, in my opinion. You're just way better off with getting something like this, which is made to be sat on. It's basically a true mini motorcycle. EMOVE Roadrunner Pro. Make sure you join my Facebook group if you want to share yours. If you have any problems, you have questions, if you want to buy one, EMOVE Roadrunner new users and mods. We're up to 2,400 people on that group. We've really hashed out a lot of problems. The scooter has some systemic stuff. Occasionally we got little tire problems. Rear tire won't hold air. Pretty easy fix, just add sealant. Here and there you have some electrical problems, but there's a lot of these on the road now. They've been on the road for almost a year and they're holding up really well. And even though it is super fast, it took me a while to get used to riding. Now I'm about as comfortable as this. I'm about as comfortable on this as I am any other type of stand-up. I am about as comfortable on this sitting down and going fast as I am on any other stand-up scooter. I finally got 1,000 miles on this vehicle. I've had really very, very little problems with mine. A little bit of Sunset Boulevard action. I flipped us into fourth gear. Yeah, in fourth and fifth gear, this thing is a demon. I generally just ride it in third. That gives me 35 miles per hour and still plenty of top speed. But I feel like if you drive in these higher gears, you kind of screw up your front tire. Actually, with all this shit happening here, I'm gonna cross with the pedestrian, and we're gonna go down this little side street. Even though it's one-way street, it's fine, we can do it. We gotta go down to Sunset. We gotta go to the smoke machine supply shop. I figure it's time. So immediately, the second I'm in a neighborhood, I put it in third. Because fourth is just ridiculous. It's kind of like the Cabo, where I don't even use fourth and fifth unless I'm on intentionally trying to go faster than 40. This scooter goes 50 miles per hour top speed. I've done it. I've recorded it. 40 is plenty fast for me. You know, I do so much driving on these vehicles. Let me just say that I still enjoy it. This is super fun. I mean, people, who wouldn't love to own a little vehicle like this? It's like a $2,500 motorcycle that goes 50. The only limitation it's got crappy range. But as far as like just going out and taking a ride on it like this, I mean, this thing is an eye catcher. It's fucking super fun to drive. I mean, I got the brakes really dialed in since I work on my own vehicle. It's just super fun to drive. It's nice that this thing has like such crazy acceleration. Like, you really want that when you're out here in traffic. This place is pretty cool. I usually just leave the vehicle right here in front and she watches it for me.
That's usually a dude, I don't know why I said she.
Hi.
Cool bite.
Thanks. You'll watch it for me while I'm in here?
Yeah, totally.
Just yell. I'll come running like you wouldn't believe.
So cool.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. It's super fun.
It looks fun.
Yeah, you like the red shocks? I just put those on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool. It goes 50 miles an hour too.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I believe you. Guys, check out how big this shop is, okay? These are extracts. These are fridges full of drinks, and these are extracts. This is a huge amount of extracts, guys. Crazy. And I'm buying a super high-end half ounce. Look at the walls, man. It's full. Talk about top shelf. She's literally got to get on a step ladder to get my weed. Watch this. If you're going up there and want to grab grab a couple of each, included the Bubba Girl. Okay, I guess I don't want you to have to go up and down that ladder too many times. Whoa, nice move on that ladder. That was a good move.
Sometimes I can, you know?
That was like a gymnast's move right there.
I'm gonna just grab all the ones you have.
Okay, okay. None of these have tasters, right?
They have what, sir?
Like a taster or smeller, and you don't have these. It's fine. I know they have a window, so that's something. These windows are something. They're like a little bit of a tease. But actually, just like looking at like the nugs on this is a... Actually, I am gonna go for this because I thought it might be I'm gonna take one of these, okay?
You got it, my dude.
Thank you, thank you. Display, that is crazy. Fucking Josh. He's a cool guy. I know Josh. All right, thank you.
Oh, no.
So basically what legalization has amounted to dollar-wise, and I'm really careful talking about this stuff on YouTube. I know the algo doesn't like it, but basically before legalization, okay? If you wanted to get a gator, it would cost you 60 bucks for something very top shelf. And I would even pay 70. Like, I would be broke, but I would split like a $70 gator with somebody, 35 a piece for a couple small nugs. But that's like super sticky hydro, basically. And then with legalization came a lot more variety. You know, you could buy like super low-end stuff, mid-grade stuff, high-end stuff. But the high-end prices were way too high for a while, okay? High-end, the gator would be $70 to $90, okay? And I'm not kidding, plus 30% sales tax. It's always plus 30%. So people who don't really know, at one point, were buying like $100 eighths. Insane. But then the market has become more competitive. I would say just the last couple of years, there's so many shops, you know? At one point, I guess they realized that especially because of the 30% plus sales tax, they got to offer deals. So now the shops are more competitive. For the first time ever, they're carrying half zips, which is what I bought. And what the zip comes down to is, with tax, It's like 120 plus tax, so I'm still paying about $40 a gator. But that is a good deal because this is very, very good medicine. The only problem is I haven't bought this particular batch yet, so I'm always taking a chance. So it's like 160 bucks that I'm risking. I'm convinced Target gets almost all my business for like whatever I need because they let me bring the scooter in. I mean, it just goes such a long way to be able to bring this thing in. Whoa, I almost walked it into the fucking wall. Fellow pioneers, we are done with our fun day on the Dualtron Ultra 2 and the Roadrunner Pro. Just getting chores done, just testing the tire. I'm super blessed to have these vehicles in my life. If you want these vehicles in your life, just make sure to use my bonus code. It really helps out the channel. Guys, a lot of delivery videos coming. I have some unplanned, you never plan dental work, right? But I'm sure I need probably 3 crowns. It's probably gonna be $5,000 worth of work. So in the next month or two, I'm gonna be doing a lot of delivery shifts. So get ready to see all the scooters. They're all coming out. Thanks for your support, guys. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave comments, ask questions, and I'll see you next time.